Every Woman Has a Story on WEBN. Our next guest is an actress, a filmmaker, and a full-time student at Harvard University. We spoke with Hania Chima, whose passion for gender equality has often been met with harsh criticism. Hania Chima, thank you for joining us here at Every Woman Has a Story.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
No worries. So we're going to take a few years back and we're going to go back to high school.
Okay.
So you went to Catholic high school, correct?
Yeah.
So how was that?
I don't know. I mean, it was a missionary school, and so we would have girls from all different backgrounds. It was a lovely school, really formed me as a person in many ways, and I found the best of friends. I'm still very close to the friends I found in convent, and it was lovely. Yeah.
Was it your choice to go? Was it a family choice?
No, actually, my mom really wanted to send me to that school. She also went to the same school, and she was so set on sending me to convent that she started teaching in that school right before the admission process. She still teaches there today, and yeah, she really wanted me to be in that school, and it's hard to get admission. Which is why she was like, I'm going to start teaching if that is what's going to get my daughter in.
You've been open to every religion. You've been to Catholic, Muslim.
Yeah, no, I feel like the country I'm from, religion actually creates a lot of divides, and that's why I feel a little uncomfortable answering this question. I would like to see a Pakistan where religion is irrelevant, and to each his own. And I was born Muslim, yes, but I don't like to talk about my religious views because I feel like it's a personal connection with God, and I would really want Pakistan to be a country where everyone religion becomes irrelevant in social interactions, and it's a personal thing.
It's a personal belief then.
Yeah.
Everyone has their own beliefs,
right.
So we have to respect it.
Absolutely.
So. But tell me, how was it living in Pakistan?
That's a very broad question. I mean, it was really, I mean, I lived a very protected life in Pakistan, and yeah, when you hear news is sitting in the US, it does sound like Pakistan is such a dangerous country, you know. But in my experience, it really wasn't. I was free to do whatever I wanted. My family was actually also very supportive in allowing me and supporting me in so many different ways. I was allowed to do theater. I was allowed to, you know, sing and dance in front of people, and there were no inhibitions. So I grew up with a lot of freedom. So living in Pakistan, I mean, I love that country. I feel for that country, and I want to see that country get better and be more religiously tolerant. But yeah, it was lovely growing up in Pakistan. It gave me exposure to a lot of different realities of life. Pakistan is I would say, very polarized society, and my experiences would be very different from experiences of somebody else in Pakistan. Like, everyone has their own little bubbles that they are living in. It is, yeah. So I cannot make a generalization about everyone in Pakistan, but my experiences were lovely.
And it's been 4 years since you've lived there, right?
Yes, I've been in the US for 4 years for college.
And what do you miss back from home?
Food. I
What's
miss
your
the
favorite
food.
plate?
Favorite, sorry?
Your favorite plate?
I would say chicken kadai, biryani. Even Western food in Pakistan is better than Western food here. Pakistan, well, so see, in Pakistan, the mode of socializing, I mean, people socialize over food. It's not alcohol, it's not anything else, like, you just socialize over food. So people are perfectionists when it comes to food.
Yes.
It's a very important part of life back home.
And how are you at cooking?
Not that good. Not that good. No.
Have you cooked something for your friends back here in the U.S.?
Well, when I'm forced to, I have cooked. Yes, I've made Pakistani food, but I'm really not that great at it.
So you miss your mom's cooking?
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely, I do.
And how has your experience changed from here to the United States?
Well, when I first came here, I did have a culture shock because it's very different living here. I mean, I had been exposed to the West. I had been traveling around a lot with my theater group and also with my family, with my school. You know, we went on with my school convent. We went to Thailand on the school trip, which was I think it was the first Pakistani all-girls school that sent their girls abroad. But anyway, so I had been exposed to the West and exposed to other countries, but living here all by yourself is a different game altogether. And I mean, I got used to the new life in a couple months. It didn't take me very long because I had lovely roommates and we're still very good friends. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I had good support here, so it was nice. It was easy transition. Well, not easy transition, quick transition. Yeah.
And what was the thing that shocked you the most from here when you said the U.S.?
Oh gosh, well, I guess the first thing that really got me surprised or shocked was when I went to my first college party, and I see all these people, the way they're dancing, the way it was quite shocking.
But now you're used to it.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's.
And you told me you were in theater, so talk to me a little bit more about that.
So I started doing theater when I was 13, and the first play I did was called Border Border, and the reason why I did that play was not to be an actor, or I wasn't enticed by the acting. I was enticed by the opportunity that play was providing. We, the students, the children who were going to take part in that play would go to India and work with Indian students, Indian children, and it was going to be a collaborative play. So the reason why I joined that theater group in the first place, Ajoka, was to be a part of a joint production and to go to India and to travel. And then I just fell in love with the art and wanted to continued acting for 7 years with the theater group. And only after coming to Harvard did I have to, discontinue that.
Do you miss it?
But oh yes, I really miss it. And that theater group also informed who I am today. And we do socially relevant plays and some very controversial performances we did back home and also in India. So it was very exciting being a part of that theater group, and very, I got a lot of experiences out of it. Daring, dangerous, and made some lasting friendships.
And now one of the plays here, Burqa
Vaganza. Yeah, Burqa Vaganza.
Did I say it right?
Yep.
Okay. Very controversial. Back in Pakistan, they did not want to play, but here in New York Times, they did. So tell me more about that.
So Burqa Vaganza, I didn't really know what I was getting into when we started rehearsing for the play. I mean, it didn't really, when I read the script, it really didn't, ring any alarm bells for me. It was, but when we started performing it, just the name was controversial. They were the people who raised their voices against this play were people who hadn't even seen the play. So yes, the name does sound like, it's that we are making fun of some religious symbols, but it was really, the play used the burqa, the veil that women wear, the Muslim women wear. It uses that as a metaphor, as a symbol of, just hiding things and illegal things that happen under the carpet. So it was a metaphor, really, but people took it too literally, and the play was banned by the government, and
But you still performed it.
yes, we still performed it. What happened was that was a very fun. I was really I love being part of all these dangerous, daring,
risk
exciting.
taker.
Yes, I'm a risk taker. So what happened was that we had announced that we are performing this other play. I forget which one it was, but we had advertised for another play that our own theater group had produced. And once the audience was in the theater, gates were closed, we announced that we are actually performing Burkavaganza and that we are, in defiance of the ban, going to go ahead with the performance. And the audience was cheering and so excited to see the play. They really enjoyed it. They really loved it. And the play is really not that controversial. If you watch it, it's very, it's not controversial.
So you recommend it for everyone to
Oh,
see?
absolutely. Absolutely.
And have you noticed any social political parallels between the U.S. and Pakistan?
What do you mean?
Like
What?
something that you can resemble from back home to here? Or something, again, that you see a big difference?
There are, yeah. There's so many differences. I mean, for instance, there are differences I can say in my life here versus my life back home. Like over here, I don't have to take permission from my parents. Whenever I, want to travel, I can just take a bus to New York. I don't have to tell anyone. I can, do whatever I feel like doing. So in my life, I am much more free here than I am back home. But of course, there are differences. I mean, in terms of male-female interactions, over here are much more ordinary, much more casual. And girls can wear jeans and whatever they want to on the streets, but not so much back home. There are differences, of course, and the society here is very open to all kinds of religions, and religion doesn't play a role in social interactions as much as it does back home.
But here or at home, you're so outspoken. Does that scare you anytime?
I shouldn't be so outspoken. It doesn't scare me. I mean, it's a personal choice. I don't have to be outspoken. Yeah.
But what drives you to be outspoken?
I don't know. I never thought about that. I just am like that, I guess.
Just think and just say.
Yeah, what I believe is what's on my mouth, yeah.
And what do you study here at Harvard University?
I'm studying sociology and doing a minor in filmmaking.
And how is that? You're about to graduate.
I'm about to graduate, yes. Time flies, really. So I love both these subjects and I've learned so much out of them. Filmmaking is something I want to do after college. It's something I want to do in life. I want to direct, maybe even act. Sociology is something that has just helped me grow as a person. It has allowed me to think through different things and just, it's more theoretical and it's more for personal growth. And filmmaking is more as, an artistic expression. That's something I want to continue to do.
And do you think joining the theater helped you to filmmaking?
Yeah.
That was your decision?
Yeah, definitely. It led to filmmaking. When I initially got interested in filmmaking, it was because, through our theater, we would try to get our voices across, promote social change. But theater is only limited to the number of people you can fit in one, auditorium, and you have to do the play over and over again to allow to spread the word. But films, you just make it once, and it's takes a life of its own. So that's what got me interested in filmmaking. I wanted to make a difference. I wanted to make a change. I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to do that, but that is what initially got me interested in filmmaking. Now I am able to appreciate film not just as a medium of communication, but as an art. So I may not, in fact, be interested in spreading social messages through film anymore. I still have to discover that. I mean, I'm still discovering what kind of films I want to make.
And have you worked on any films here in the U.S.?
Yes, student projects, but yes, I have. I made a film called Mirror on the Wall, which I felt very, very passionately about.
What was it about?
It was about a house cleaner who basically is almost invisible to the people who she works for. And the film was inspired by my experiences back home. As I said, Pakistan is a very polarized, divided society. And the upper class lives a very different life from middle or lower middle classes. And house help is very common back home. And in my experiences, I've seen house help being totally neglected, as their presence is almost not acknowledged, ignored. It doesn't impact or affect interactions of the people who. Well, so I mean, it was. I can go on and on about that, but
it was a personal film.
It was a personal film for me, and I didn't get the positive reactions that I was hoping to get from the film, because it is kind of it's very drawn out. The way I filmed it is very, I guess, banal, and that's what I was going for. But I guess it didn't hit the viewers the way I would have wanted it to hit.
But it was still a wonderful experience for you.
It was. It really was.
And it's always going to be, when it's more personal, it's more touching for you. And are you working on any projects right now?
I am working on another student film for class. Right.
And what's that one about? Is it similar?
It's a portrait project of this lady that I used to clean for, and to make some extra cash as a student. So I'm now filming her and just following her as she does her, household chores, or directs other people to do her household chores for her.
But what's so special about her that you want to film her?
Oh, she's amazing. She her memory. She's about 85 plus. And the way she, remembers everything about her house. And for instance, I was once, helping her set up her closet and arranging her scarves by color, arranging them by color. And she remembered which scarf was given to her by her mother and which scarf was given to her by her aunt, or everything. I was just amazed by her memory. And I'm also amazed by how she is so independent still. She's a little disabled, but she manages everything on her own. And for instance, I mean, it's an inspiration for people back home. And people, I mean, I've just seen in my experiences back home, people usually at her age give up, and they use their age as an excuse to always have somebody just pamper them. But watching her is just amazing, how she manages herself and is so independent.
Hopefully we're like that one day with great memories.
Yeah, hopefully. That's it.
And do you want to go back home after college, or do you plan on staying here?
Ultimately, I want to live in Pakistan.
Okay.
I don't know why. I don't know what pulls me back. I mean, I love my life in the US. I love the freedom I have. But there's, I guess my family is still there, so there is that pull. But I also know that there is much more difference I can make there than I can over here. And I want to teach in Pakistan. I want to, I don't know, whatever. I mean, there's so many opportunities for me back home that are very exciting. So it is something I definitely want to do.
And what opportunity, what changes do you want to do back home?
well, as I've already touched on, I feel like religion, unfortunately, has been creating a huge divide back home, and I would really, really want to see a Pakistan where religion is irrelevant. And if there is any change I can bring in that capacity, I would love to. And there are other, I mean, I would really want to see Pakistan, Pakistanis, having an open mind and being open to new experiences, being open to all kinds of different people. If I can make even one person less judgmental, I would think that I've, achieved what I set out to achieve.
And do you want to do that with filmmaking?
I could do that with filmmaking. I could do that with teaching. I could do that through just interacting with people back home. There's so many ways. I could, I don't know, have a TV show or something.
Anything's possible.
Yeah, anything's possible.
And what advice would you give to any young person like you that wants to make social change?
The advice I would give is that you should never give up. I mean, I don't know if I've actually ever made change. I don't have any proof of it. But if you give up, you're definitely not going to do anything. And that's not just for social change. That's for anything. If there's something you want to achieve, there's something you want to do in life, it may be hard to achieve it, sure. I mean, you can think about, what are the chances that I'm going to be successful in this? If the chances are slim, you give up. Well, if you give up, the chances are zero. So just don't give up. Whatever you want to do, whatever your dreams are, follow your heart.
Well, it was a wonderful time talking to you, and thank you so much for coming and telling us your story.
Thank you so much for inviting me. I had a great time myself.
What an inspirational young lady. Thank you for watching Every Woman Has a Story on WEBN. We spoke with Hania Chima. If you would like to be a guest on our show or know anyone who would like to tell their story, please email us at ewhastory@gmail.com. Check out our most recent feature with psychotherapist Susan Hagen on our website listed below. I'm Stephanie Cruz.